Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's Rosen. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On play action, Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former number 1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A gain of 32 that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This will be taken at the 10. Shifts by him. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense now. Making their way out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. McFarland. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. 1st quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
To throw is Winston. There goes a deep ball, end zone. A big play there. 45 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense. With two guys going up for the football, which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner picks up his second sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now it's Rosen. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw is Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. Open man is Higgins. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back.
Let's go. Let's go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Rosen. He's got his tight end Fant. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey to the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Watch the pass.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rosen. He completes this to Sutton. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
And defense, let's go. Pick it up.
On third down, Rosen. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action here with Rosen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Rosen to throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Oh, he shifts past him. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. On 3rd down, McFarland. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Hey, let's get it working. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Here we go.
Jameis now on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw, Winston. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. These guys have punted 4 times already. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 15 now. Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jameis to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Yards, the final tally.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball, outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll try the left side. McFarland. He's got the first down inside the 10. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Winston. Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. But now it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They went for broke on 3rd down, and it would have really lit up the sideline if that one had worked. What do they do now on 4th down?
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? You made them kick the field goal, and yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is the tight end fan. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Rosen now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Again, it's Rosen. That's complete to Turner. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Check 99. Check 99.
Now a give, right side. Akers, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 40 now on second down. Rosen, and he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Rosen off the play action, going for it all. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. The pass there complete to Sutton. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. Rosen. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
Check mine. Go.
On 3rd down, Akers. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a 1 yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall.
And some strong running. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. That is caught at the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And he comes back with one complete. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On play action, Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. From the gun, it's Rosen. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And now it's Rosen looking middle, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Rosen to throw again. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked into the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now left side on the swing pass. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleep.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 35. To throw is Rosen. He'll find Lindsey here. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Here's Rosen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the left side. McFarland. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards there and a Niner first.